All right. We brought you the breaking news right before the break. Jack Smith, special counsel, grand jury returning a superseding indictment, as it's called, against former President Trump. So these are the same four charges, same four core charges that were already, that Trump was already charged with in terms of election interference, subverting the election and the results of the last election. Remember, the Supreme Court had that ruling on presidents and immunity and being immune from prosecution for official acts since then. Now we have these charges, not necessarily new, but newly worded in a new superseding indictment. Matt Lewis is with us. Matt's a columnist at the Hill. Never a dull moment ahead of an election. I don't know if any of this comes to bear before an election for Jack Smith, but he's not giving up. He's appealing the Florida case. We found out that yesterday, and now this. What do you make of it?
Yeah, look, politically, I don't think that this matters. I mean, Donald Trump has been convicted on 34 felony counts. He's been found civilly liable for what is tantamount to rape. And so I don't think one more trial, one more, indictment or whatever is going to move the needle politically. But what I do think this does is really just raise the stakes even more on the election. I mean, I think it's not crazy to say that if Donald Trump can either go to the White House or he can go to jail, or at least have a good chance. I mean, he has to be, if he wasn't campaigning hard before this news, he has to be campaigning very hard now.
Well, could motivate him, could motivate his supporters too. I mean, we've seen that sometimes in the past with this kind of perverse political impact of some of these legal headlines, to your point, because the last time we were having these conversations, he was in a much better political position, right? I mean, he looked like he'd probably win. And then, I'm trying to think of the timeline, but even after the New York case, things got better for him because that was the debate same month in June. And then he had the odds of victory about the same as Harris, maybe even better than Harris has now. But now you start to wonder if Harris wins, to your point, are we having conversations about, Jerry Ford pardons, or are we having conversations about Donald Trump sentences? I mean, that's a more realistic question, right?
It really is. I mean, the stakes are high. And I think if Kamala Harris is smart, and I think she is, she won't touch this with a 10-foot pole. I mean, She might mention it in passing, but I don't think the whole prosecutor versus the criminal thing is what's really going to win it for her. And I think she's been very shrewd about not doing what Joe Biden was doing. I mean, Joe Biden was really playing up the defense of democracy. Obviously, it's a noble thing to defend, but I think Kamala Harris has really kind of approached the campaign from a different perspective. Let other people talk about Donald Trump's criminal past, and Kamala Harris could focus on freedom and turning the page and change.
But think about Harris, right? So one of the things we look at for Harris, and we've been going through all these probabilities today because we have this new election forecast that came out from DDHQ and the Hill and NewsNation that she's more likely to win. Not that she's going to, but it's 56%. That's not crazy, but it's, it was the other way around a month ago. So it's a big deal. But then if you think about it from a Trump supporter's perspective, right, and they're watching this, and now we have the DDHQ headline at the bottom, but right before we had the breaking news about Trump at the bottom. To your earlier point, it's a good one. Trump supporters will look at that, and then maybe their enthusiasm goes up. The same way the Harris enthusiasm went up. Not that it was ever down, but this could be very well seen as a motivating factor for some Trump supporters if they were trying to lose hope. I don't think that's far-fetched at all, do you?
No, and it's ironic, of course, right?
Of course.
The fact that a candidate would be indicted or arrested or whatever, and he would go up in the polls. But this is 2024, and we have seen this happen.
I know, but we just have data to support. I mean, it's happened before, right? So it's not like we're making it up. I mean, that's what's happened.
And if I'm Kamala Harris, I don't want anything to change the subject. Even something that could be good, possibly would normally be good news. I don't want anything to change the trajectory of this race. And this, these things have the potential to do that.
Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.